Right. What is going on, everybody? Um, welcome to a special Blizzard edition of the Logical Faction live stream for February 1st, 2021. Tonight we'll be talking a little bit about one of my favorite things on this planet. Oh, and then a few other happenings from the past few days. And after that, I'll read some super chats, which you can send using the Cash App below. Or, as you've probably noticed, I got my lemons back. So, should be a fun show tonight. And as always, I'm your host, Brad CGZ, and you're the Logical Faction. All right. Before we get started here, I just want to thank Hannah for your donation and kind words. She said I'm a big part of this movement, and Hannah, so are you, and that means a lot to me. And Tony, who I realized after the show Friday what you meant by one for you, one for Craig. So thank you, appreciate that, brother, and thank you, Craig, for hosting, by the way. And also Longshot Mags, who said she loves my positive attitude, or he possibly. Well, thank you, and I love all of your positive attitudes. It's quite refreshing, I must say. And like, in my opinion, snow. I find snow to be quite refreshing as well. And I know that people can go either way on that, and I'm curious to see your opinions as we go on. But I definitely am a bit snowed in right now, so I thought this would be a fun theme to at least kick off the show. And so, like I said, I know it's a hit or miss for a lot of people, but I personally have a foot and a half of it outside. So, and counting, by the way, I was looking, it's supposed to go to, I don't know, some things are saying by the afternoon tomorrow. Some were saying it could go on to 5 p.m. tomorrow, but it's not coming down nearly as much as it was. So, definitely whatever comes down, it won't be the bulk of it's done already, and I was outside all freaking day I got a new snow blower. Not like anyone cares, but my new snow blower that I got in November of 2019, but it didn't snow last winter. So you're welcome to all you people who hate snow. And I see someone saying I'm from Minnesota, so they're probably laughing at me right now. But a foot and a half, that doesn't happen all the time here. We do get snow here. We have pretty bad winters in the general New York area. But as far as snow, it's usually hit or miss, I'd say. So anyway, I just thought this would be a fun way to start off the show, and maybe some fun facts about snow, if you will. And the first thing I wanted to look at is actually that the most snowfall in a 24-hour period. And this is pretty crazy. I can't even imagine what this looked like. But apparently, the largest snowfall in a 24-hour period is 75 inches. So for anyone who does, who's not a surveyor like myself, 62 inches. I'm sorry, 72 inches is 6 feet of snow. So that's 6 foot 3 inches of snow. And this was in 1921. And over 6 feet of snow fell between April 14th at 2:30 p.m. and April 15th at 2:30 p.m. And this is in Silver Lake, Colorado. And as you see, for the course of 27 hours, it was 87 and up to 100 inches by 85. So this is pretty much one of the records. I know this is a document from 1953. At that time, they're saying it was the record, but I believe there's been other ones afterwards. Thank you to the NPC show for hosting. What's up, buddy? Um, I don't know. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you like snow, or a 0 in the chat if you don't like snow? Yeah, I personally think it's a lot of fun, but I've also been in situations where I'm like, oh man, freaking snow. But it's pretty wild. So definitely, this is just to give you an idea of what that was. what that was like. Oh, a lot of ones. Yeah, man, dude, snow's awesome, and it makes everything look so cool. Here is an idea. I was trying to look up things for 7 feet of snow. So this is what 7 feet of snow is. I've personally never seen this much snow ever, but it's pretty sick. It makes it funny because I feel like I have so much snow outside, and when I was looking up pictures, I was like, I ain't got nothing outside. But this is basically more than normal here is about 2 feet. When you get like a huge blizzard, it's usually around 1.5 feet, 2 feet, a little more. This happens roughly every 10 years, I'd say. 10 years, a little less. One of the more famous ones was back in 1983. Now, I won't play this whole clip, just for a few seconds. This is pretty nuts.
In Brooklyn, in the shadow of Grand Army Plaza, some parts of Eastern Parkway are plowed out. But as you can see here, other parts of the parkway are not at all plowed. These cars stuck and good.
No sense digging it out if the snowplow doesn't come down. Where am I going to go?
After we make a path and get up the Eastern Parkway, we just slide down the hill somewhere.
To give you an idea how bad it is and how long it may take for New York City to dig itself out of all of this snow, that tow truck is attached to this city's snowplow.
It's bogged down in the snow, so we're trying to get it out.
Even the plows can't get through.
That's right.
And of course, all over the city.
This is what it looks like here. But I mean, we are pretty equipped. Like I said, it does snow usually during the winter, but you know, it'd be like 2 inches here, 6 inches here, something like that. But this fun fact, my mom gave birth to my brother like a week or two after this. So God bless her. She was 9 months pregnant when this blizzard hit. And so that is pretty impressive. It's certainly not what the state you'd want to be in when something like that happens. But now something else, moving on, something else I found interesting, that apparently, when I was looking into this, one of the things I found is that apparently the no two snowflakes are alike is a myth. Now, according to the Guinness Book World Records, in 1988, Nancy Knight, a scientist at the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder, Colorado, found 2 identical examples while studying snow crystals from a storm in Wisconsin using a microscope. So, for everyone whose whole view of life is a lie and just had your whole life shattered, you could thank Nancy Knight for that. Nancy Knight. And I don't know, just an interesting little tidbit that I thought was weird. Another lie, right? Yeah, it's all a lie. Evidence of cloning. Oh man, yeah, they were made in Clonade up in Canada. Let's see. So now this is what I remember. This is just a random video I found. I won't play a lot of it. I didn't really watch too much of it. But this is this is like the first big blizzard that I remember personally. It was in 1996, I want to say. Yeah, okay, 1996. And this is when I was a kid. It was like literally the best. I remember jumping off the stoop into mounds of snow, and it was just like landing in powder and stuff. Now, of course, in 2003, there was another crazy blizzard that I got stuck in traffic leaving the city and literally sat outside the Lincoln Tunnel for about 6 hours. So I definitely get both sides of the snow argument, but for the most part, you know, going back to 96, the one where I was a kid, that's the sort of stuff I like the most. You know, going down hills and garbage can lids and discs and building stuff, which I have an old video from about 10 years ago of me and my friends doing just that I'll show in a bit. But one of the best things ever to me, basically, is snowball fights. But this is just really quick. This is what it was like in the 96 blizzard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure looks like 18 inches to me. It's still coming down.
Chupacabra said he was stuck on the Bronx River Parkway for 2 hours. Wow, man. Dude, it's once that, you know, traffic here is a nightmare. Once things get clogged up, you're done. So a snowstorm clogged up, yeah, 2 hours. That's pretty nuts. Yeah, look at this. All right, this is what I remember. This is the first time. This is definitely more than 2 feet. I didn't look up how much it was. It had to be 3 or 4 feet. And that's the first time I remember being like, whoa, snow is awesome. Brad W says every year here like that. Where you at, Brad W? You up north a little bit more? See, it's weird because I do love the summer as well. I like the mix that we get. It actually gets really hot here in the summer. So it is weird compare contrast. I guess I assume that's because of the humidity. I know the humidity makes we have a lot of humidity here. So when it's hot in the summer, oh my God, it feels like 1,000 degrees. And when it's cold in the winter, there's nothing you can do. And me working construction for so many years, trust me, I know there's been times where I've had to stand outside for 8 hours and literally -10 in the wind chill, the real feel, if you will, which I suggest, well, that's the real temperature then. But where it's just like there's no amount of clothes you can put on and you just have to eat it. But then there's also some summers where it's 100 degrees out and same thing, and you can't take clothes off unless you want OSHA to friggin' come. So that is the conundrum of where I live. It's not very evened out. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so this all right, yeah, I watched about a minute or so of this, and this is exactly how I remember it. I'm not, even though I grew up in Jersey, I'm not far from Brooklyn. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But again, like I said, one of my favorite things about I guess snow would be snowball fights. And this is something I found really interesting. I love, and the title of this thing is The Great Snow Awakening. That's awesome. Large snowball fight kicks off at Smithsonian Castle. All right, so apparently, first I saw this and I was like, oh, that's random. They had a random snowball fight in DC. That's so cool. Dude, there's a whole thing. There's all right, what's it called? Let me go to my trusty notes. The Washington, D.C. Snowball Fight Association. All right? So there's literally a D.C. Snowball Fight Association. I think that is so freaking cool. And so it says after a 2-year period, yeah, because like I said, last winter, there was next to nothing. And again, my snowblower, by the way, snowblowers aren't easy. In my head, I thought it was just going to be like, just like mowing the lawn. Dude, it's hard. You have to push that freaking thing. I got just as much of a workout as you do shoveling, but you're not bending as much. So obviously, that's better. And I don't know if they have maybe self-propelled. If you're going to get a snowblower and they have self-propelled snowblowers, definitely buy one of those. Because just trying to push it against 1.5 feet of snow, and this was heavy packing snow, oh man, it was a workout. I was out there for hours today. But nevertheless, still better than shoveling. I would have been out there for several hours if I was shoveling. But it's let's see, Martha Washington and Ninja Gini. Wow, thank you. Thanks for bringing back some good childhood memories. We'd throw snowballs to stop plows. To stop plows. That's freaking great. Actually, you know what? Before we go into this, that reminds me of this video. I was gonna play this next, but that is freaking perfect. With this, I could just picture kids racking plows with snowballs. This is a famous video from 1897 in France. Lumiere, I guess, with the accent. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But they recorded a snowball fight. So I'll only play a second or two of this version because it just shows it, because the point I'm about to make actually is much showed better in this version, that you could just tell. Sometimes I love watching old videos. I don't know if anyone else does this on YouTube, but one of my favorite things is just type in New York City 1910, and something will come within that range up. And you just watch these videos and you watch the way they interact, and there's not a lot of sound with them, but you could just tell things aren't as different as we think. I always feel like it's this big thing, like everything was so different back then, and everyone's so different. You watch, and everyone's pretty much same. I know people were different in ways, but the general gist of us, I do get the impression, watch things like that, we were the same. And someone speed corrected this and colored it, and just look how cool this is. This is from 1897. It's funny watching them have like a snowball fight in suits. Look at this dude. Not today, bicycle man. Dude, they straight up blasted this dude with a snowball. Watch this second. The first one hits bad enough, and then someone runs up and blasts him. That's the one. He don't even, if you watch when he goes, he don't even grab his hat. There's people they're grabbing his bike. Oh, that's not even him. Dude, someone stole that dude's bike. Oh, that's fantastic. That's like one of those things where it says watch the shell. Like at the Yankee game, they'll have the 3 Yankee helmets on the screen. You have to guess which one the ball is under. But so that wasn't even that dude that drove away around. Top hat guy is a Rothschild. All right, is he? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. He might be, but we could have one day off from the Rothschilds. Okay, so this is so apparently there's a Washington D.C. Snowball Fight Association, and it's just, I think that's the coolest thing. And they had one just with this one. Well, that's not playing, but here is, I guess they had a big one. Most of the videos when I was looking up came up from 2014. So
when
I
snowball
love
fight.
Oh yeah, this is the report.
When an entire city shuts down after a snowstorm, the only thing left to do is obviously have a snowball fight.
Obviously.
Yes, that's right. Scores of people turned up at Washington, D.C.'s National Mall for a bit of winter fun after schools and government offices closed following a powerful storm.
I was at home. My little brother was with me. It was his birthday yesterday, so I was like, go have a snowball fight. So he said, let's go. I was like, all right.
Organised by the Washington, D.C. Snowball Fight Association, the event is now in its 3rd year. And with about 4 inches of snowfall to play with, for some, it was serious business.
My strategy is look at people who aren't wearing gloves because they're probably not going to make the best snowball. Aren't you cool?
So, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. There's a couple raw videos too, but I won't play. I just thought this one was pretty cool. Godfrey says that was a joke. All right, fair enough, man. Sorry, sometimes you can't tell with some people. And you know what? Who had cameras in 1897? It actually wasn't that hard to believe. Antifa winter training. Casey said the reporter made it sound so fancy. Yeah, anything with a British accent just makes it sound so intelligent. Should I start talking with a British accent? No, that sounds like a shanty British accent. See, I can't even be poor, not poor British. Right, old chat. I had a British accent. That dude straight dodged it like he was in the Matrix. So there you have that. There's actually a Washington, D.C. Snowball Fight Association. See, this is the kind of associations we should be getting involved in, all right? This is what D.C. should be concentrating their time on. That was freaking great. And not to be conflated with the greatest snowball fight the dome. But obviously, you can't mention a snowball fight without showing the Elf Central Park snowball fight. In my personal opinion, it's my personal expert snow opinion. So now, to another fun fact about snow. It's actually not white. It only appears white. Snow is really translucent. And that the reason, there's a scientific reason that snow appears white, if you will, is because light is scattered and bounces off the ice crystals in the snow. The reflected light includes all colors, which together look white, because all the colors together are white, and black is actually devoid of color. While your red sweater absorbs all the colors except red and reflects back out for people to see, yellow tennis balls absorb all colors except for yellow and reflects yellow back for people to see, snow reflects all the colors, and all the colors of light add up to be white. So it is white. Well, technically, right. I guess it is white. But really, if you were to look at it, it is translucent, but it reflects all colors. It does not take up any of the other ones. And next, before I get into, because like I said, I have a video of myself and me and my friends and some things we made in school that I think you guys would like to see real fast. It's only like a 4-minute video. That is so racist. Light power. This is something, man, I always thought this was so freaking cool. I'm not sure how many people are aware of this, but I only saw these recently, not too long ago. But did you know that there are ice hotels? All right, maybe like 10 years ago, the first time I saw this, but still. And Brazel says, with the Ninjagini, hate snow, love bread. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure the snow knows you don't mean it. But I imagine you would like snow here if you were in a freaking snow hotel. How cool would this be? They always have the dumbest music in these videos. So the ice bar, this is something that reminded me of. I'll show you that in my video coming up. Well, it's not a literal ice bar, but one thing me and my friends always used to like to do is whenever it was big snowfall, you build a huge bar and then you could pack your beer right into it and it keeps it ice cold. You know, you can make your own holes. It's pretty awesome. Look at this. How freaking cool is this? I should have had like Supple Tour or something queued up for this. Or no, Iced Earth would have been awesome. I would love to do this just for one weekend. It has to be cold though. You know, it has to be so cold. This one's in like Sweden, okay. Sweden, Scandinavia. I thought the first one I ever saw was in Canada. I took a torch lighter to a snowball a couple years ago. When it melted, it didn't drip water like it should have. Don't believe me, try and see. You know, there are tons of videos of people doing that. It's weird. I got torn because a lot of it was, the reason that put me on it is that people were saying that because geoengineered snow and things that they spray and it comes down weird. And I do half believe that. But then there was also a lot of things I was seeing because I tried it and did the same thing with my snow. And basically, a lot of things were saying that that's the butane, the black, because a lot of it turns freaking black and doesn't melt right. It's weird. We're saying that that's the butane way it is, and it's actually combusting the snow. I forget. There was an explanation that actually did make a little sense to me when I watched it. But nevertheless, it still is a little suspect. It almost acts like plastic in a way. So certainly something to keep in the back of your mind. And even though I came away half kind of believe in their excuse, because you know, anytime something happens, there's always, I'm scientist Ed and I'm going to tell you why this makes sense. And it's always spin control. Most of the time you watch them and what they're saying doesn't make sense, and you're like, well, I know what I saw, and I know what I'm looking at, so thank you. But this one, like I said, I came out of it half wondering if maybe that is the case. But there's videos, I did a whole montage one time, the end of a video I did, where people were heating it up in pans, and it was still acting different. So I think there might be something to that. He's Not My President says actually warm inside an eagle. Yes, that's a good point. I have heard that. And I have, in fact, built my own little mini igloo. Not this first one, but I'm going to show you that video. Home video that I made. Well, the home video, these are YouTube videos that I used to, that at one time I could have just went to YouTube and showed you, but now they are gone forever, as they say. But I still have them. And most of them I did back up in September. I just kind of felt it coming. So I didn't lose too much after I went back and started looking. And I realized, because I had thought I had only backed up some, and I realized I did back up a good chunk of them. So here is 2010 me. And this one I'm not going to play too much. I just want to get a shot of it. Yeah. All right. So this was a mini snow that had happened earlier in the year. So 2010, if any of you guys remember, there was a lot of awesome snowfalls. So this was a half one that happened, and I built this little thing. I was cutting my teeth, all right? And then basically it's made some snowballs, and there's my self-defense system. Pull the pin. And then I thought it would be a good idea to hit my house with it. So there's that. And then this is the one I wanted to show you. This video. Okay. Snow Day Part 2. Because really quick before I play this, and it's saying I look so different. Yeah. This was about 50 pounds ago. This is also 2010. And what happened here is then we had this huge snowfall. So me and my friends stayed up all through the night. Again, my old house, the one that I mentioned that I lost in Hurricane Sandy, it was sectioned off. The whole top, it was completely sectioned off where you actually had to go outside to come around. But it was an old mother-daughter house that was turned into 2 units. And I used to rent the upstairs to the drummer and guitarist for my band. So it was cool when something like this happened. We'd all meet in the driveway and we'd all be shoveling together, and there would wind up being, if it was a bad snowstorm, this huge pile. So we turned that pile. I'm going to show you what we turned that pile into, but also I built something on the side yard. The thing I just showed you, I continued it I turned it into an igloo, and we also built an ice bar, but then I'll show you what we built after that. Snow way, you say? Snow fucking shit. See? This is when we used to have fun on YouTube. Remember having fun on YouTube?
Quit now with the sunglasses.
See, this is the thing. All right, this is the one I turned into an igloo. And then skip ahead here. This is the next one. This is the ice bar. Sabbath song. All right. I'm filming this holding my laptop, because this is literally 2010. I had a flip phone, so you can't. There was no filming it on your phone at that point. So anything I had filmed for all my YouTube videos back then was literally in a little handheld camcorder, which I had lost the cord to charge. So, hey, BrainPod, yes, love the Iron Maiden. Good catch. This is Lost for Words, an Iron Maiden instrumental. Rock on, dude. I believe off of the one with Aces High. I can't believe remember the name of this album right now. It's one of my favorite Maiden albums of all time. It's Aces High, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Lost for Words, Big Or by Iron Maiden. Exactly. Power Slave, my man.
Here's the Snowball.
This is the most important part of when it snows. You have to make an ice bar. I mean, you know, whatever.
This particular maker is definitely the most utilized and the most useful part of Snowland.
Look at all these fine folks hanging out in my car.
Word.
Oh yeah.
Alright. That's on me.
Man. All right, cheers. It's a BYOB also. All right.
I need to open it.
All right.
Oh, is this up?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
9 seconds left. The final 9 seconds of the card.
I got one side.
Yo, 9 seconds.
It's me bumping his smoke. It seems so weird now. I haven't smoked in so long. All right, now here.
Yeah.
This was the whole pile at the end of the driveway that we had from shoveling. It was a huge pile here. So we went out and I printed out a picture of the Sphinx. We put it in one of those large Ziploc bags. Anyone who works construction, I did it like it was a plan cover. And then we kept just going in and out in shifts and spent like hours carving it into a Sphinx. So I freaking love stuff like
someone
that.
else is here.
Yeah, so that's a far picture of the old Sphinx. So that was a lot of fun, and I certainly the only thing I definitely wish I lived closer to people here to where I could actually have gone and built something with all this snow today. But one thing with that snowblower, it really just throws it all around. In my head, I was like, I'll be able to aim it places and make big piles, but it just blows it into the air. So I might not have been able to anyway. Yeah, so that came out friggin' awesome. Cabal symbolism is chill. Yeah, I don't know how like everything with Egypt is evil to some of this. Some of this stuff, people, is a little much. Just gonna say that. Some of the things people point out is, I feel like, a little overboard. That's kind of those are the things that made me take like half a step back with some of the symbolism. But you guys know a while ago I kind of took a little bit of a step back. Because after a while it was like everything's a symbol. And even if everything is to them, it's not to us. You know, if someone has a pyramid in their freaking back of their room when they're doing a live stream, I highly doubt that's a symbol. They might just think the pyramids are cool. I mean, the pyramids are kind of cool. So one thing that sand is demonic. I mean, sand is pretty hot. It is pretty hot. And when it is, it turns to glass. So these are things that I used to look up all the time. And this is kind of sort of stuff that inspired what you just saw. Is people do this on a national scale. Look, just for like reference, that's how big, look how big this dude is. This is something that was made. This is videos only from a few years ago, but I've seen that picture as long as 10 years ago, so that's an old one. Ice sculptures are pretty cool, but this is, I love these, like the snow sculptures. Like, again, look at in comparison to all these people. How many people had to go up there and carve this? This had to take days. Or maybe just a lot of people, I'm not sure. I like this one a lot. With all the things. And I could put on the music. This is generic music for this. See, this is cool. This, I guess this is some sort of festival. Because that's what this is saying, the Ice Snow Sculpture Festival. That is awesome. And it really, with the different lights, makes everything look super cool. Chainsaw ice sculptures are amazing. Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's what I assume all of these look like ice. I also love these snow sculptures. I've seen them. They use, looks like cutting tools for a lot of them. Mount Icemore. Yeah, see, like with ice, you really could get a lot more detailed than with snow. Some of those are insane. This is part of the one from the first one. Like I said, that's an old one. One of the Trump turncoat YouTubers claimed Trump having references to Saturn as being evil. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Now, granted, there is a cult of Saturn, but I mean, is everyone who's ever looked at Saturn evil? It's a little much. You know, the problem is that everything's a symbol to them. Or the metal sign, making the metal sign. I get that it's the devil horns, but everyone who's ever been into music in their whole life has made that. So you're just going to put that up there? It's as ridiculous when people say the OK sign. Some were saying it's 666, and some were saying it means W power and all this stuff. It's like, dude, you know, here's a wild idea. It might just mean okay to 99.9% of the people who use it. Yeah, the scale of these. Those people are just deranged. Yeah, amen. You gotta, like, you know, there's gotta be balance. You know, it's funny because I find the people who say all of it, there's nothing to any of this. To me, they're a little deranged too. It's like, well, there's something to it. There's certainly some, and they do flash each other signals, but they do it. And it's like time and place, you know? Look at the setting. Look who's doing it. Not just watching. The first time, one of the first things I ever really, I saw, someone was pointing to an old Jordan Sather video, and he had a cross behind him, and it was like a wicker cross that had a swirly thing, and then someone was trying to say that Jordan Sather was a keto plant. It was because they watched this old video of him, and I was just like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I don't even know much about him. I've never talked to the dude. Who knows? But I would say 99% he's not. And that certainly is not evidence that he had a wicker cross behind him with a swirly thing in the middle. It's insane. So these go on forever, and obviously you can look these up if you like. But I just think, you know what, I'll let it play in silent. One thing I was gonna say is that one of the reasons, because this is not all I'm gonna talk about today, and thank you guys for hanging out. I wish I could see if someone could put in the chat how many people are watching. That I always like to see that. I know I've been averaging around 500. Which is really cool that you guys hang out, especially doing a late stream like this. And it's always a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people do wait. 351, hey, so that's not bad for a snow stream. See, not everyone likes snow. But one of the reasons why I did more of a stream like this, well, there's a few reasons. One is pretty cool. I was a little out of the loop this weekend because I spent the whole weekend working on a new website, which I'm going to show you guys in a moment. And then two, I spent most of today dealing with snow. So definitely it was a twofold sort of thing. And the website, I'm really proud of the way it came out. And of course, it's going to be update it as it goes along a little bit, but I got the bulk of it done this weekend. It's pretty sweet, and it's gonna be fun to go over. I'll show you guys it, and it's logicalbrad.tv or logicalbrad.com. That'll bump you right there if you forget the .tv. But logicalbrad.com, and it looks a little something like this. Brad. And this is what I worked on all weekend. And it has everything is on here. I might have to work on making it a little more obvious, because this is the link tree. Obviously, if you go to this, yeah, most of you know my link tree that has everything on here. But this is my bio. And if you click the picture, it'll take you to my Twitter, where you can see random videos. Otters, I just had to share this. I love otters because I feel like they're sea pugs. They literally are. They're like little pugs that swim. I'm a fan of pugs. But, so that's that. You know, quick little bio. I'll probably do a more extensive bio eventually, because those are fun. I always have fun reading that. And Twitter, what's that? I know. Yeah, don't tell anyone I'm still on there. I can't, I don't know why. But yeah, I really don't tweet too much. So that's probably why. And I really only started going on about this time last year. So for the last year, and again, I don't tweet too much. But here is my video archive. And a few people have been asking me, actually, how do I find old videos and stuff like that? And this right here. So also, everything's a link in here. I made sure that everything's a freaking hot link. So in this paragraph, there's a link to my Rumble, YouTube, BitChute, Tiger Network, Gab, TV, and Pilled. Obviously, all the links are also in the link tree. But the main one I linked is the Rumble account, because the Rumble is a complete archive of all my videos. Once upon a time, when I first put them up, they were in exact order. But then something Rumble does is once it approves a video, it puts it to the front. So all of a sudden, as videos have been getting approved, they're all out of order. So basically, someone, for instance, was asking me about my Looking Glass video. Once you're here, I mean, you could just go to Rumble in general and do this. If you put in Logical Faction, and basically anything you could think of, it will come up. They're pretty good. I've tested it for about 20 different videos, and everyone comes up. I don't know if it has to be the exact title. A lot of them I've just put in like this. I only put in Looking Glass. But if you put in Logical Faction and say walk away, here you go. This was my first viral video in 7/3/18. So I remember we went viral on 4th of July. I posted this late 7/3, and then I spent the whole night spamming the link everywhere. And that was before they really shadow banned links. And this is over 700,000 views. Got taken down. But this is just a montage of how nasty Democrats can be and what hypocrites. But this is, once you're on this Rumble, it works really well. Just Logical Faction and anything you could think of, and it usually comes right up. So, or if you just do Logical Faction, it'll show you a lot of different videos, usually my newest one. So while you're on the homepage, this will bring you there, which usually will have my latest videos. And also, this is my DLive schedule. So if you ever forget, just go to logicalbrad.tv. And this is a hot link to it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This will bring you right here. Hey, 370 viewers now. Very cool. For Thursdays with Methods at 2:30. That's a hot link right to Methods. And for Friday, for the Friggin' Friday Night Show at 9 p.m., there's a hot link to Craig, who is hosting me at the moment. Thank you, brother. Close these out. If you come here, usually I'll feature a video. Right now I'm featuring Joe Biden one that you guys saw last Monday that I worked on all weekend. And this is, for those of you who saw that live, this is I spent about 10 hours after that cleaning it up and adding slides and things that you guys know I like the editing aspect and adding different things and different graphs and stuff. So this is a revamped version. The live version was about an hour and a half. This is an hour and 15 minutes, but there's a lot more information and a lot of the fluff is cut out. So this is if you want to show your friends a speech by someone who's outwardly, these are his words talking about the NWO, not mine. And he probably mentions it about, I'm not even exaggerating, 200 times during the course of that speech. So there's that. And then, of course, at the bottom, super chats or donations if you want to go to the Cash App. And again, things that are in between shows I will read at the beginning of the show, or things that are during the show I'll read after the show, towards the end. If there are any, please don't ever feel obligated to ever do anything. The fact that you guys just come and hang out really means the world to me. And here is merch, but I have a couple more things here. So this is the second page. The first is, as advertised, think to my Teespring, which, as I think of things, I actually have a Buster one. I have an old Buster one, who I've dubbed Patriot Pug, by the way. Just so you guys know, Buster is the mascot here. I have for Halloween 2016, I dressed him up like Trump. So I want to put that on a shirt. So I thought that was cool. Half of these I make just because I want them, basically. So this is the new logo I've been working on. This is my Rubik's Cube. So I configured my Rubik's Cube. I don't know. I'll show you on the thing. To be LF. At Josh, who's here. That was his idea. He was like, yo, man, if you can flex on a Rubik's Cube, make it an LF. And then make it Logical Faction. So that logo looks like this. The Logical Faction. Really looks like Logical Action. Because the F isn't so clear. But I like the way that came out. So then, I just made a blanket. You can make anything. So it doesn't mean anyone a lawyer them. But so if you want to go to the beach and feel quite logical, you can do that. And again, I want to make one with Buster with a Trump. So that's that. And then this is my Gab. I've been really liking Gab, by the way. I don't know who amongst us on Gab, but you get actual traction. If you do so, you have to do something people like, but you can get actual traction on Gab, unlike Twitter, and people share like a lot of good stuff. Here's someone sharing a James Woods post, but Gab is friggin' awesome. So definitely, if you want to follow me on Gab, I made that its own link. And then obviously here, I also have hot links to my Twitter, my WeGo, and my CloudHub. I don't use CloudHub and WeGo too much yet, but I will eventually. Here is a link to my original music. You guys know I'm a lifelong musician. So I had to put that on I'm making a website, obviously. Here's my two bands, Valhalla and The Onslaught. Here is some solo stuff. The solo stuff is usually more acoustic. This is a lot of times, if you guys know, this is how I start a lot of my streams. I'll just pick one of these. And I'll play them. A lot of stuff. That is me doubling up 3 different acoustic guitars, and then I have a lot of just random stuff on here. The Dopo La Brasca means after the storm. Ozzy Hope, you need to play with Quite Frankly. I know, people tell me that all the time. I hear he's a sick drummer. I don't think he lives too far from me either. That would be sick to jam out one day. And then a lot of you know, again, I don't expect a lot of you to go to my music part, but I just had to throw it on there. And a lot of this is all metal. This is death metal, and then this is regular metal. But so there's that. And then the last page, this is what I meant. I'm gonna eventually get a PO box and a mailing list. So that's nothing right now. But the main one is the home page. Again, it's my bio and my video archives. So if anyone ever wondering about an old video, this is the place to go. They're also almost all on my BitChute as well. And live stream schedule, if you forget, like, oh man, when does Brad go on? I'll just go to logicalbrad.tv or logicalbrad.com. So I've been working on this all weekend, and it was a lot of friggin' fun. And it's cool. This is definitely the way to go, to have your own website. So I think it's cool to share it with you guys, and a lot of fun. I had some stuff some real stuff, but you know what? I think I'll just keep this a light stream tonight. I personally like the occasional light stream, and I'm gonna be on tomorrow. Like I was saying last week, on Tuesdays moving forward, not every Tuesday, probably on average every other Tuesday, I would like to do interviews because I thought that was a lot of fun, and I think they're fun in general. But tomorrow I haven't talked to anyone. Tomorrow I'll be on with a regular stream, and I'll probably talk about a lot of the stuff that I had lined up to possibly talk to about tonight if I had time. But again, I don't think it really would fit in with this. Any thoughts on buying silver? Well, I'll tell you what. It's weird because I bought some right away when people started pushing it. But then the more we started thinking about it, I was actually talking about this with Craig yesterday or the day before. Something seems fishy about it. One, it kind of seems like they're trying to distract away from everything that happened. And two, it just seems, I don't know, something just seems off about it. So personally, I'm not going to buy any more. I don't think there's something weird about it. And I was seeing people, and if some of you guys who saw the friggin' Friday night show on Friday, a caller towards the end, Bruce Banner, who always has very great calls actually, he made a good point, said that there is so much more silver that's traded, that is physical silver that exists, that if you wanted to really mess with the economy, you could start demanding regular silver and actually asking for your silver in person. It can mess with the economy. So maybe this is a distraction or someone trying to mess with it. I don't know. So I was just thinking, it's weird. I keep going back and forth. It seems like it could be legit, but to me, my gut, after I really started thinking about it, feels like they're just trying to distract away from the stock market and everything that was happening with GameStop and all that. And so I don't know. But you have to buy into the ETF to ask for a physical cover. See, I don't even understand a lot of that. Buy physical silver was $20 in 1980. It's top 10 metal. Well, I do know people who have really believed in silver over the years. I'm not saying not to buy silver. I'm just saying this specific push, something just seems off about it. That's my own personal opinion. I've always, back in 2017 and 18, I got a lot into cryptocurrencies, and I didn't really talk about it here too much. But one of the ones I really liked back then was XRP. So by the grace of God, it's actually starting to do something, because it was weird right now. It was starting to do something in late November, early December, and then they did what they did, and they went in and they shut it down, and the SEC levied something about it, and then it tanked. It's funny how they do that, because when everyone was buying GameStop, and that was going to the moon, all of a sudden Robinhood shuts down trading and TD Ameritrade, and they went in and shut it down. When a certain someone was railing towards winning re-election, all of a sudden they went in and they shut it down. When XRP started ramping up, they went in and shut it down. So a certain someone, Mr. Donald Trump, who has been saying since 2016, the system is rigged. Well, he is looking quite vindicated these days. So it's certainly something to think about. Again, that is what I was liking, the XRP, and the XRP seems to be doing all right now. But again, I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I already made my move with that years ago, and I have it, and I already considered that lost money. So if one thing ever happens one day with the cryptocurrencies, I'll be happy. But other than that, what happened with the stock market is pretty real, and I think it's awesome, and I think it should continue to go on. Again, I don't know much about stocks, so I can't give any real advice on any of it, but I certainly like what they did. Again, silver, yes. Well, Bruce Queen, what's up, buddy? It's a false flag with silver and gold. I do kind of feel like, well, I don't know if you're talking about something specific that happened, but I do feel like the push just does seem off about it. That's, again, just my own personal opinion on that matter. But as we ramp up the end of the show here, I was going to say that that was my stream for tonight. I hope this was a nice change of pace, and I'll definitely be back here tomorrow night at 11 with a more traditional stream for you guys. And I would definitely appreciate it if everyone would check out logicalbrad.tv or logicalbrad.com, whichever you prefer. They both take you to the same place. And thank you everyone who helps support this channel. There were no super chats tonight, but there were Ninja Guineas and Lemons Flying, and those are just as awesome, and they add up and freaking mean the world. And I also would like to thank DLive for understanding. I wrote them a letter explaining that I am actually very peaceful, and you guys know, follow me for years, I push peace, and to the point where some people, some trolls, have actually called me out on that. But I'm not a violent person. I don't like violence. I don't like when people call for violence. I don't think any person on planet Earth has a right to harm another human being. I don't. Self-defense is a whole different story. But just out of nowhere, I do not think no one has the right to harm me, and I don't have the right to harm anyone else. So that is how I feel on the whole thing. And that is how I've actually been saying that for years. And I do have saved videos where I've said that for years. So I really appreciate them understanding that. And I understand where they were coming from with their original move. But they gave the lemon back, and that was really cool. And it certainly helps a lot. And of course, I would love if you check out my website. I put a lot of work into it, and definitely I feel like Logical Brad. Thank you, Abe, for the idea. He was like, dude, Logical Brad TV, no one owns this right now. And then I looked, and I was like, and it also said under his screenshot, said no one owns logicalbrad.com either. I'm like, I am about to own both of them. So I thought that would be easy enough to remember. So if you're ever like, oh, what time does he go on again? You can go there and check that. Or if you want to look for if you forget how to get to any of my video pages, anything you could think of, if you got to my Twitter, anything, just go to logicalbrad.com, and that will take you right freaking there. So again, thank you everyone who helps support this channel. I couldn't do it without you, and it's been a wild ride that I think is just getting started, and I am happy to be on this ride with all you. So hey, you guys. But I'm really happy to be on this ride with all you guys. I love you all. And of course, I'm Brad CGZ. Thank you all for hanging out, because you are the logical faction.